What's going on, everyone? This is Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. In this show, we're doing round 4 DFS Showdown targets for the 2020 RSM Classic. Craig, we're through 3 days. We got Robert Streb at the top at 17 under. I mean, right off the bat, who's going to close it out on Sunday? Who do you like?
Well, I mean, I don't want to be too dismissive of Robert Streb because he has won here before, and he's played really well through 3 days here. And I likely will roster him in, some of the showdowns I put in.
Right.
But I really like the pack of guys chasing him down. I think there's a few people there that come to mind that could chase him down. Top of mind, I think, is Zach Johnson at 14 under, who I may be chatting about a little bit more in a sec.
No, I mean, I like Zach Johnson as well. The local knowledge definitely helps. He mentioned that in his post-round interview. I don't know, of that group there's a few at 12 I think are pretty interesting, but at that group there, I like Grillo. I mean, you can see to the right, the wind is a little bit calmer. It looks like conditions are going to be kind of the best we've seen. If he can go and fire at pins and he can actually roll in those 5-foot putts, I mean, he can make up that ground pretty quickly.
Yeah, I had the broadcast on and I saw someone, I was doing other things at the same time, so I was a little distracted, but I saw someone roll a putt by and I was like, oh man, and I jumped back and I was like, oh, Grillo. Yeah, that makes sense.
Grillo, yeah.
Weather should be down, and a little bit opposite, it is going to be lower, so I wouldn't take it into account a ton in either direction, but a little bit opposite to what we've seen, where it's going to be a little bit higher in the morning and then ease off as the day goes.
And like every Sunday, we got the Draftkings bonus points for the finishing position. So first, 13 points, all the way down to 41st is 0.5. So they are significant right now. Leader 17 under, top 5, 12 under. Think if the field average is about 1 under, maybe give that a little bit more on Sunday. If it is a little bit calmer, maybe it goes to 1 or 2. If we look at low rounds throughout the week, this is only on Seaside, so we didn't do Plantation Hall, but it's 6 under, 9 under. Joel Damon had kind of his record round on Friday, and then 5 under. So I would guess the low round out there Sunday would be 6 under. I mean,
I could see it going lower than that, honestly.
You think so?
If the wind is down, I could see someone out there going 8, something like that. I mean, you never expect that, but when these guys get on a roll, it can all just seem to fall the right way.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, if you want your guys to crack the top 5, maybe you're looking at kind of the guys that are in the 7, 8 under range right now to kind of catch that field or that top 5.
Yeah, but I mean, that said, as always, I wouldn't eliminate people that are below that. You just, you want to make sure you're not only taking people from one part of it, because you get no leverage on the field.
Yeah, you get an eagle, you get a couple birdies, and it quickly makes it up real quick. Okay, I mean, let's jump into it. My first, I kind of talked about him as an outside chance to win, but I like Emiliano Grillo tomorrow. 8,700 on DraftKings. He's gone 66, 68, 65. So his 2 best rounds are on Seaside. He has 2 eagles, 13 birdies, 4 bogeys. Third in strokes gained approach, he's +4. I mean, this is tournament long, not taking the averages, this is tournament long. And fifth in strokes gained tee to green, +5.7. I mean, if you look at his 2 rounds at Seaside, he's averaging 65.5 on that course.
And that's on harder days than it will be playing tomorrow.
On harder days. He just seems to be firing at pins. It seems like whether you're watching the broadcast or looking on the app, it looks like he's always within 10 feet for a birdie chance. If anyone can make a run, I really like Grillo tomorrow.
Yep, I like him a lot. I mean, he's so volatile that if everything starts to go his way, he can, and you want that because you want people that can dramatically move up, because if you miss by a bit, you might as well miss by a lot.
He's likely not to get that. I mean, he does only have 4 bogeys in the round, but it's likely not to get that bogey-free streak with he's not the safest play. Let's just say that.
My first one here, someone who may get a bogey-free round, actually. Kevin Kisner. Yeah. He comes in at 10,000, so he is a little bit expensive. He's 68, 66, 66. Both of those 66s were on the Seaside. 13 birdies, 1 bogey. He's 12 under. He does have the single bogey of through 54 holes of golf. No kidding. Is on the Seaside, so he does have a bit of a propensity to make bogeys there. The one thing I wanted to point out, so Kisner was someone we spoke about on, I think it was the Twitch show on Wednesday, where I liked him going in, but it was sort of like I like his long-term, his value based on his long-term potential more than his recent form.
Yeah.
And the one thing that really stood out to me, so his strokes gained off the tee was
Right.
negative in 6 straight starts going into this tournament.
Right.
That's assuming that he was negative in the Masters, where he probably was. We just don't have
Right.
strokes gained
Right.
out of
Right.
there.
Yeah.
But all those courses were longer hitter courses. So
Yeah.
he's ninth in strokes gained off the tee here. He's third in accuracy and 37th in distance. So this is a course where you can be good off the tee without
Yeah.
having to be one of the longest guys out there on tour. And Kisner, he's a good ball striker, but he is not going to hit it 325 yards average. So
Yeah.
it's a course that works for him. If you look further back, he has been positive off the tee in 7 of the last 8 years. And the 1 year he wasn't, he was only minus 0.04. So typically
Right.
he's either, somewhere around neutral or slightly positive off the tee. So I
Right.
think he's just one of these guys that he's going to get that positive strokes gained off the tee stats in these tournaments like this, and we
Yeah.
see it happening this week. So it's just, I think that as the baseline, he's hitting the tee ball well.
Yeah.
You combine that with the fact that he's a local, he is putting well, which, sometimes that is a cause for concern. But I think that if you look
That's
at
kind of
it,
his game, though.
Zach Johnson's putting well, Kuchar's
Yeah.
putting well, Patton Kizair's putting well. All of these guys that are locals
Yeah.
are putting well, and it's because they play these courses all the time.
Yeah. They know these greens. Like,
So I think he has a good chance. I mean, is he going to chase down Streb? I don't know, but I think he has a good chance to move up in his finishing rankings.
yeah. So, I mean, I kind of mentioned that group at minus 12, and the one I was thinking about was Kevin Kisner. I mean, I think he's definitely the most dangerous. He's the most steady. He's kind of like the most seasoned pro, maybe outside of Zach Johnson up there, where you're like, it's not going to rattle him down the stretch. He can just kind of go out there and scare kind of those leaders.
Well, and just a win means less to him than it does to
Yeah.
Streb or Burgoon. So with that said, he's not going to get the nerves won't be the same.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So my second pick, Craig, I kind of feel like I'm just kind of jumping on your picks from earlier in the tournament, but hey, they've worked out so far. Matthew NeSmith on DraftKings, he's 7,300. So he's gone 72-63. That's when you called him out on the Seaside. And then 66. So 11 under, 15 birdies, 4 bogeys. Again, we're looking at the strokes gained stats on the Seaside course. He's fourth strokes gained tee to green, plus 5.89. And first strokes gained total. So yeah, he's putting well. I mean, he's plus 8.618. So you wouldn't see him this far behind, but he has that one round at the Plantation course. You expect stroking total is this going to match the leaderboard, but we have that one opposite course. So naturally, he's down a little bit lower. At the Seaside, he's averaging 64.5. I mean,
On
again,
harder days.
on harder days, yeah. So a guy, I mean, I kind of had regret that I didn't go right back to him for round 3. He had a good round, but I'm not going to miss that chance again. I'm going there on Sunday. I'm going there for the final round. I really like Matthew NeSmith.
Yeah, like it a lot. Only issue will be ownership potentially. But
course,
that's going to be the case with a lot of these guys. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. I like it. My next one here, in taking off the theme of, I think you had picked Zach Johnson earlier, either for a showdown or a tournament long, I can't remember, but he's coming in at 9,500 on DraftKings. He's gone 66, 67, 65, 2 lowest rounds on the Seaside course, 19 birdies, 5 bogeys, so he's made a ton of birdies. The thing, I mentioned it briefly with Kisner, the putting prowess. So Zach Johnson's 5th in strokes gained putting. Oftentimes I worry about that, but I really think it's because these guys know the courses and they know, maybe it's the things you can't see in a break, or maybe it's just they know when the wind's blowing a bit in this direction, it isn't going to affect this one too much, and then this one it is. All those type of things come into play. But really, so one of the things that I've been doing in Showdown this week is guys who I liked going into the week that have played well. It's almost like doubling down in a blackjack hand.
Right.
So Zach Johnson was ranked 7th in our Grandstand Golf model at the start of the week, despite being 22nd in pricing. He was a value then. I think he continues to be a value now, even though his pricing has gone up over the course of the week. I think if if he was priced more neutrally at the start, his price would be even higher, I think, now. So I like the value. I think outside of Streb, he should have the best chance of winning this. So, yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, again, ownership is a thing, but you guys know how to differentiate from the field. Leave salary on the board or go contrarian with, I mean, 2 or 3 other picks. But I really like Zach Johnson. I have him in a couple tournament longs. He'll help me if he kind of pulls it out. So I'm definitely going back there on Sunday.
Yeah.
My third and final pick, Chris Kirk, 6,600 on DraftKings. So he's gone 70, 67, 67. He's 8 under right now. If you do watch our Twitch show on Wednesday night, I kind of got made fun of a little bit, or
I was giving you a hard time.
Yeah, so I went 35% on Chris Kirk for a tournament long. With my kind of player pool, I was like, guys, I found a sleeper. I'm sticking. I like it. I'm going 35% on Chris Kirk. And you know what? It's worked out pretty good until now. But if he can sneak into a top 10 or a top 5, I mean, I'll be laughing.
I mean, as far as your tournament long goes, I think if he stays where he is, I want to say he's about 19th right now. If he stays there through, 1 or 2 under through the Sunday, I think that's great for you.
I'd be pretty happy with that. 14 birdies, 4 bogeys, 1 double bogey. So looking at his Seaside rounds, round 1 and round 3. So Thursday, he was negative 1.5 strokes gained tee to green. Bad. I mean, he shot par. It was a bad round for him. On Saturday, back at the Seaside course, he went positive 1.77. I think that's what we're more likely to see on Sunday. So he improved by almost 3 strokes from one Seaside round to the other. I think that's what we're more likely to see on Sunday is that positive 1.7 tee to green type play. I looked at his history here. Obviously, he's done very well here in the past. On Sunday, specifically at the RSM Classic on Seaside, he shot 67 or better 5 times. So he's got a couple 67s, a couple 66s, and I think a 65. So if there's something about the pin locations or just it being Sunday here, he can close out. And I like him to kind of move up the leaderboard, possibly crack a top 10.
Yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. I mean, blah blah blah.
It's a homer pick. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just saying. I'm not gonna. I didn't put him in any of my tournament log ones because I was like, But you know what? You made a good argument for him at the start, and I didn't believe you, and so I'm gonna have plug him into a few lineups for tomorrow. Yeah. My last one here, looking at John Ha. He's 7,000 on DraftKings. He comes in at -9 through 3 rounds, 69, 68, 66. Lowest 2 rounds of those were on the Seaside. He's got 14 birdies, 5 bogeys. So he's another one who I liked going into the week. I don't think he was my sleeper pick, but he was someone I chatted about on the Twitch show.
Right.
Number 3 value in the Grandstand Golf model entering the week. So, oftentimes the best values in the model are from lower priced guys, but even still, to be number 3, there's only 2 guys that are better. So
and he's paying it off.
Those are the numbers.
He's paying it off. Yeah.
So I just think similar to Zach Johnson, I think he was undervalued, I think, at the start. I think he continues to be undervalued. He's 23rd in strokes gained on the Seaside, just looking at the ignoring the plantation course round. So 23rd in scoring there, 44th in pricing. So to me, it's still just like he's still not getting the respect. Yes, I understand that he's not going to be moving up to being in the 23rd in pricing, but I still think it should have been higher at the start and it should be higher now. So I'm going to be on him for Sunday.
Yeah, I have him in a couple, I sprinkled him in some tournament longs. I played him a couple showdowns. I like it again. I think he's not going to soak up a ton of ownership, I don't think, as well. I mean, I would be surprised if it went over 10%, but I think closer to kind of that 5% would be more likely.
Well, I want to say Sabatini is at the same price or very close to. And
I think Kyle Stanley's around there.
Kyle Stanley's around there. Yeah. And so Stanley, and then I want to say Landry is as well, who both have better scores. I want to say Landry might be a bit more expensive, but similar, So I think those guys will soak up a lot more ownership. So to me, it's when you are starting to look for, maybe it's not a super contrarian play because he is, I want to say maybe just outside the top 10 on the tournament.
Right. Yeah.
But still, I think that there's going to be value there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for watching. We release a podcast every Monday. We record it Sunday night. So go to Apple, go to Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Hit subscribe. It really does mean a lot. Also, give us a rating. Leave a review. We would love any support you could throw there. It's golf. We talk some DFS, we talk some betting, but it's more of a holistic kind of look at golf, the golf tournament, and kind of our lives within golf. So it's really fun. So please subscribe, rate, and leave a review there, and catch our RSM Classic recap early in the week next week.
Yeah, and in addition to checking out the podcast, give us a subscribe below. This is a pandemic passion project for us, so if we can continue to get subscribers, the more content we can do, and the better chance we have of making this a long-term thing. So appreciate the support. Good luck, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, take care.